whenever my wife does this, I know Sergeant Fleming's coming out, and he's not very good at marriage, so I try not to let him come out very often. Welcome back. We are Brian and Jamie Fleming, the founders of the Marriage Battle Plan, where we teach you how to communicate clearly with your spouse so your marriage will not only make it but prosper at marriagebattleplan.com. And today we want to talk to you about creating a place, quote unquote place. You know it's for real when you use quotation fingers. Jamie, what's a place? What's our place?
Well, our place is when we walk around the pond, and we do it usually almost every night.
That's right. Now,
and in the mornings.
If she looks all dolled up and I look sweaty and nasty, I just went for a run in the rain around that same lake, about 2 miles. And she's a good girl, as you can see. You know, Tom Petty. What up, Tom Petty?
Loves your mama.
Love you, man.
Jesus.
Yep, that's
and
right.
America too.
It's free falling, man. So anyway, I do that a lot. Create a place with your spouse. What does that mean? So many people are not connected. They're under the stress of life. They're dealing with all these different things they're juggling, from family to career to money, and then dealing with each other and, fighting and then making up and trying to, all this stuff. Everybody has a lot of things going on in their lives, and you have to be able to create a place where you can get away.
Yeah. Frequently,
but it doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be a place that you can go to, and it's like that release valve. You hit it on the big tank, you just let a little bit off, and the air just kind of does the little sound, lets a little bit out, but that stabilizes the tank. And if you don't let that little bit out, it will destabilize. So what do we do when we walk around this lake?
Well, if we do it in the mornings, we usually we make our coffee, and we'll put it in to-go cups, and then we
just walk around?
Walk around and talk.
It's about a half mile. Do we have any agenda when we're walking around this?
No.
Yeah. What do we usually end up talking about? What do we say?
About life, really, anything.
Whatever's on our mind. So the point there is, don't think you have to have something to talk about. I know a lot of couples, they say, well, I don't know if we're together too much. What are we going to talk about? Like, don't worry about that. Like, this stuff comes about. We'll go, hey, there's a new duck out here. Or, hey, there's a dead squirrel on the side of the sidewalk. We saw that a couple of days ago.
Or a decapitated bird.
Yeah, there was a bird skull and spine, if they even have spines, like a bird skull in the middle of the sidewalk. So we're like, well, I wonder how that got there. Why is there a bird skull? I don't know. Yeah. But here's the thing. If you're struggling to get along with your spouse, if you're having trouble, even like some people have trouble opening up and talking because the environment they're in is not conducive and productive to opening up. I know a lot of people, they have, very busy lives like we do. And in their house, they can't really talk because they have screaming kids and babies and TVs and homework and college work. And they just got off of work, and they work 60, 78 hours a week plus. All right. They would get home, they want to eat and go to bed. But if you can walk around a lake, if you can unplug for 15 minutes when you get home and just kind of relax, and you can do it together, you have no agenda, this will help you say things you really mean, and not just like in a mean way or in a serious way, but when you're not under the pressure of a particular environment, you can communicate better. As human beings, we are so determined in how we interact and think by the environment we're in.
Yeah. So
if you're always in this stressful environment with your kids and your priorities and your responsibilities and your job and then thinking about money, you have to get away from all that for just a little bit. Every day or two, just get away to that place, whatever it is. And that will help you de-stress and let off just a little steam, little pressure, and it will destabilize or restabilize, not destabilize, good Lord. It will restabilize whatever it is that might be rocky in your head. And then when she says something, he blows up on her, or vice versa, because there's something else going on. And in Marriage Battle Plan, we talk about identifying the real enemy.
Yeah.
And one of the things we always say is that the problem you see is not the enemy.
Yeah.
The problem you see is the indication that the enemy is present. It's evidence of the enemy's presence. The real enemy always lies just beneath the surface of the obvious problem. The real enemy, the root cause of the problem. Yeah. And that's what most people don't know how to find. So look, whatever it is in your life, however long you've been married, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're newlywed, maybe you've been married 60 years and you say, why are we listening to these young kids? And we're not really young anymore, but we're not old. We're just, gloriously in the middle.
Speak for yourself.
That's right. She's older than me. I like older women. She's a cradle robber.
By 8 months.
Yeah. So find a place. What is it? Is it walking around a pond? Is it after the kids go to bed? You're watching a show or reading a book together. Walking around the neighborhood. Maybe it's just for 10 minutes as the sun's setting or whatever. Find a place you can just be together and have nothing to do and nothing on the agenda. Sometimes we don't say anything for halfway around this lake, and other times we talk the whole time.
Yeah.
A lot of times I talk the whole time, if you can imagine that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So look, find your place, quotation finger, find your place so that you don't find yourself in divorce court over something that was avoidable. So if you want more marriage advice and how you can, just very easy practical ways that you can communicate better with your spouse so your marriage will prosper and you can make it and have a better and happier marriage, where can they go?
MarriageBattlePlan.com.
MarriageBattlePlan.com.